Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee with Nate. It's been a while since we've done this. Before my day gets going, I wanted to make sure I start it with you. I want to take you back in time to the mid 1980s, Marshalltown, Iowa, into a driveway of my friend Jamie's house. Jamie was one of a core group of people who were my very best friends and still are to this day. And Jamie, we'd go over to his house and we'd play hacky sack in his driveway. We'd turn the speakers from the inside to the outside and put them on the window and crank Iron Maiden, that sort of thing. And his mom, Lori, and his stepdad, Bill, were always so cool to let us come over and just kind of hang out in their house. Bill really only had one rule that I can remember. I remember it very well. And Bill's rule was that while we were in the house, we had to take off our hats if a woman was present. And he didn't say things like, gotta take off those hats, respect kids these days. It wasn't anything like that. What Bill would do, though, is if we came into the house and there was a woman present, he would say, hey, guys, you need to take off your hats. There are ladies here. Just respect. He said it like that. At the time, I don't know that I understood what taking my hat off in front of another person, how that might have showed respect, but I really respected Bill, and I wanted to kind of be like him. And so I'm like, yeah, absolutely. As I think about now, as I've grown up, I realize that I think what Bill was doing was preparing us for how to be ethical people in an unethical world. As we were moving towards adulthood, I think it was important that Bill kind of instilled in all of us a sense of how to hold ourselves with dignity, how to be respectful citizens. And it begins and ends with our actions. That's what he was telling us, right? My taking off my hat, no, it's not, somebody didn't ask me to. Nobody deserved it. It wasn't anything like that. It's not like, these days respect seems to be more along the lines of, well, if you respect me, then I'll respect you. But if you don't respect me, I'm not respect. That kind of thing, right? That respect is actually something that begins with me in my actions. And it's interesting because the rule wasn't take off your hat and show respect to people until they give you reason to believe that you shouldn't have to. Like, if they didn't respect us back, we could put our hats back on. That's not the way any of this worked. Respect, this is what Bill taught me, begins with my actions. And it really doesn't matter what the other people around me are doing. It only matters what I do. Not only does respect begin with me, but it ends with me too. It doesn't matter whether people show the respect back, but to be an adult and an ethical person in an unethical world, it meant that we have to be the ones that insert things like respect and dignity and love into the conversation, or else it will simply be absent. What an incredibly profound thing to teach a 16-year-old punk kid like me. And I'm so grateful that he taught me that lesson. I know that these days, things like showing deference to a woman by taking off your hat, those things are kind of out of fashion maybe. But then again, respect seems to be out of fashion these days too. I can turn on that TV right over there and I can find 15 examples in 15 seconds where people don't believe that respect is something that we give. It's something that we receive and then we'll give back if we want to. I like Bill's way better. I like Bill's vision. Respect begins with me. It ends with me. It also seems to reflect, I think, the teachings of Jesus on the Sermon on the Mount. At the very end of the Sermon on the Mount, he says, so in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. He doesn't say, eye for an eye. If they do this, then you do that. He says, you treat other people the way you think you would want to be treated yourself. And maybe other people won't return that, but that doesn't matter. Whether it's respect, or whether it's love, or whether it's dignity, whatever. To be an ethical person in an unethical world means that our acts of respect and love, they have to begin and end with us. They are our acts. I know that these days there are a lot of other ways to think about respect. It's become adversarial. It's kind of become something about kind of, showing that you're not going to take garbage off of other people, and I get all that. But I prefer Bill's idea of respect, and I wanted to share it with you. So I hope you have a fantastic day. You certainly deserve it. It's time for me to get to work. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.